everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a video on the El Camino. We're going to be putting new brakes on it, and rotors, calipers, the brake pads. I've had that brake kit from Power Stop, the high performance pads. I got the drilled and slotted rotors back here. So we're going to be doing a video today on getting the El Camino all set up. Get the front brakes done up, new rotors, new bearings, pads, calipers, and then we're going to be jumping onto the carburetor. The carburetor, this is that 830 CFM NASCAR carb. It's an HP carburetor, and I'm having trouble at steady cruise going down the road this year for some reason. Last time we've had it out, so I'm going to experiment. I'm going to use this Pro Systems that I picked up a while back. This is 800 CFM. So I'm going to try dropping CFM. I usually go bigger, you know, you guys remember I bought that 950 Ultra XP, and then I bought a separate main body, an 850 main body. That way I could switch it back and forth in case I wanted to use the 950 on the big block instead of using the Dominator here. Turn on some light. Instead of using this Dominator, which is a 1050. So I figured I would buy an 850 main body too, and then try it out, because you guys remember when we had this at the track last time, we checked the plugs and it was super rich. So we were down on mile an hour, down on ET, and then I pulled the plugs out and it was fat. I mean, it was way too much fuel. And, you know, we dynoed this car, or the motor, with a 950 on it, and it loved it. So, but it goes to show from carburetor to carburetor the differences in, you know, your top air fuel or air bleeds. You got air bleeds on the top. You know, that could vary from carburetor to carburetor. Power valves on the inside could vary. So we decided to get the 850. Well, I did switch that over. It's an 850 Ultra XP now, after we returned the other one, because the air setting screws were just locked right in there. It seemed like they had Loctite. I got one out and we stripped it. So, you know, Summit took it back, no problem, no questions asked. They sent me out the new carburetor. Well, I ordered up, like I said, I ordered the 850 main body too, to try that out on there. So before I resolve back or go back to putting a brand new carburetor, that Ultra XP $1,100 carburetor on here, we're gonna try this Pro Systems 800. See how this works. I like the carburetor. Pro Systems is a damn good carburetor. I've never got a chance to try the Venom VX. I've heard a lot of good things about these carburetors. Fresh out of the box are supposed to be bad boys. So I picked this up from a guy in up north. I think it was a year ago, last winter. You guys can remember we did a video on it. He ended up dynoing his motor, breaking his motor and dynoing it, and then when he put the motor in the car, it was fuel injected. So we got that for a good deal. We're going to try that out. We got a little bit of work done on Jay's motor, which we'll be bringing a video about that here coming up soon. But today I figured I'd do a quick video of getting the rotors and, you know, doing some work out here in the shop on the El Camino. And we'll see what we can get into. I'm going to throw you guys on a quick time lapse. I'm going to get set up here. I got the car all covered up because we got painters here. Got some new wood up here, new wood on the corners. Hell of a mess everywhere. We got all the soffits and eaves painted. Everything's sealed up there. So we'll get this all sealed up, and I'm going to be putting siding on it to match the house. And a couple other little, you know, house maintenance. you gotta love the house maintenance. But the painters, that was all part of my closing. You know, I had to pay cash to close when I bought the house. And that was all included, you know, to paint all the wood and scrape and paint the garage. So they're going to be coming today to finish spraying. So I didn't want no overspray getting. I actually got, you can see in the corner of my door, I got sheets packed in there. So try and keep that overspray out of here, especially on the old Elko here. We don't need no overspray on a brand new paint job. So, but anyways, guys, like I said, I'm gonna put you on time lapse. I'm gonna get everything set up. We're gonna be going through. I've been getting my carburetor stuff out and trying to find some metal O-rings and stuff. But I'll get everything set up, and we'll bring you guys back, and we'll bring you along for this little journey today of getting the El Camino in its race form. Yeah, we're pulling. When we took it out for a test drive, you let go of the wheel and it pulls hard to the driver's side. So I'm thinking this caliper is finally showing its ass and locking up. It ain't locked up to where it's smoking, but I think it's holding pressure on the pads, and it's making the car pull that way. So it never did it last year when I parked it, or when I went and dropped it off to Dave. But it's, you know, we picked it up and took it for a little cruise with Lloyd and the boy and his Monty, and I noticed it was pulling to the driver's side. So it's time to get the new parts put on. They've been sitting on the shelf forever. It's time to get these things on. Alright guys, we got one side tore down here. It's always a good thing to, before you take your bearings out of your rotors and wreck your seal getting the rear bearing out, which we're not using that rotor anyway, or the bearings, but until I verify that the new stuff is actually the right stuff for this spindle, you know, because I ordered it off of, I think it was Rock Auto or something, the drilled and slotted rotors and all the bearings. Or no, we got it through Summit, excuse me. But, you know, Summit ain't perfect. Nobody is. So I'm going to actually, oh, where are they? What do we got here? We are going to be putting on the drag pack also, the wheels, my skinnies and drag radials also when we're done with this job, because we are going to be taking it to Ubley with Dave and Phil and all them guys. Let me see what I got. All right, we got all new brakes, carbon fiber ceramics, bushings, seals. So this must be, what is this shit? Oh, this is a pitting arm, which we need to put on also. Where are, oh, I think they're in here. There's so much shit everywhere, guys. Oh yeah, here we go. So we need to check the seal. Make sure the seal goes. Let's see if the seal's the right one. First, I mean, you could go. It fits over that. We'll slide it over the spindle here. Oh yeah, beautiful fit. Perfect. So we know we got the right seal anyway. Now if I can get the damn thing off of here. That is the correct seal. So now I'm going to take this one. Bearing race. So now I'm going to take one of each of the bearings. They come with new races, but there's already races in the rotors. So we'll be pulling out the rotors and making sure they fit that correctly and fit the spindle also. We can take the rear one. Let me see, it's gonna go like that. That's the one. Like I said, it's always good to double check all this stuff before you just tear everything apart and not be the right stuff. So we're good as far as bearing fitment goes on the spindles. Try this outer one. Outer one goes this way. Beautiful. So we know that's correct. So now, as long as they fit into man, I got a lot of tires going on here, but got these from Tony over at the tranny shop. Brand new Cooper Cobras. I had one that had a hole in the sidewall. The guy wrecked his truck and hit a curve, or hit something, I should say. I don't know what he hit, but he popped one of the tires. So Tony bought the rest of the tires. Oh shit. Entirely way too much shit in here. Okay. I already put all the ARP race studs in this last year. So, look at that, guys. Perfect. So, we know that all of our parts are correct. So now I can feel good about tearing everything, getting everything greased up, and I'll put the old bearings in these rotors. These are good rotors. And I'm still waiting for the new calipers to show up from Rock Auto. So big thumbs up to these towels here, man. Woo! Awesome. Thanks, Tony at the tranny shop. Much appreciated. But anyways, I'm going to put you back on time lapse, and I'm going to get packing bearings and get the other side ripped apart. Alright guys, we just we got the one side done. Say hi to the wife.
Hello.
What'd you say, baby?
1-800 number.
Alright, I'll give him a call in a minute. We got this side on, guys. It come with new cap, even a dust cap. So I got all the old bearings, which I found some rust, looked like water got in there at one time, and there was grease, but there was still some rusty yuck in there too. Like I said, I got the other side, the inner bearing, outer bearing, new seal, new dust cover. I'm gonna take and get all the brake clean in there. How many guys use these bearing packers? I just get the grease out of it, and I put the grease in the palm of my hand and do it the old-fashioned way by taking the bearing and smearing it a little bit. I don't trust. I mean, I bought that through Snap-on when I was working with Roy on RVs, because I packed a lot of bearings, and you know, trailer bearings don't need a lot of grease. These don't need a lot of grease. You know, you just stick a couple fingerfuls in the center down there, pack your bearing real good, put a little bit in your dust cover, and you're good. Excessive bearing or excessive grease in your rotors and stuff, all that does is comes out the back seal or the front cover. It gets all over your brakes, makes a hell of a mess. So, but I was just wondering how many guys do use these. I do it the old-fashioned way, so that way I know my bearings got grease all through them. I figured I'd just throw that in. But we did get the other side done. We're getting ready to work on this side here. And I got a call. I had the wife, I put the wrong email in through Rock Auto, for my calipers. They were supposed to show up yesterday, and they never did. So, but like I said, we are going to be putting the front runners back on. Instead of putting the street tires on, we're going to be putting the front runners on, because we are taking this to the track. What are you doing? It's dirty, I know. I'll get it cleaned up. But like I said, we are going to be taking it to Ubley here within the next couple weeks with Dave and Phil, and we're going to try and get the boys' car there too. He actually bought a brand new Brawler 750 carburetor for his. We're going to take the Eldebrock off, and we're going to put the Brawler 750 on there, which is like a Holly 4150 series. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to the carburetor part of this video. This video is pretty long as it is. I like to keep my videos around 15 minutes or so. So I'm probably going to make a separate video of tearing the carburetor down after I get the calipers on and the brakes finished up and the front wheels back on and the car lowered to the ground. I'll do a separate video of the carburetor. That way you guys can hear it run. We can take it down the road for a test cruise. I'll take the mount out of the Tahoe and I'll stick it to the back window and bring you guys along for the ride. But I am going to be switching out the brake or the fuel lines too. Get this red and blue anodized stuff off. I don't have this line here, and I don't know if I have the correct upper part for the carburetor for this carb that goes in here. And I got to get rid of these plastic O-rings too. That's what I was digging for, because you can see on this one how it beveled it out. It's a leak. So I'm getting rid of that plastic junk and putting metal ones on the carburetor. Metal is a lot better. It seals a lot better. But like I said, I don't know if I have the right ends to go from 8AN to a straight, let me see, where are they at? I got to make sure I got an 8AN threaded part that'll go to here, like so, into my crossbar, which I have in the house with the brand new Ultra XP. But like I said, I'll be doing a separate video of that because this video is already getting long. And I don't know if my calipers are actually going to show up today. And I'm not about to lean over top of the car in the engine compartment and scratch the shit out of this paint. So I got to have the car on the ground to be able to work on the carburetor part. So I'm going to put you on time lapse, and I'm going to finish up doing this side of the bearings, and I'm going to pack them by hand. Maybe I'll do a short video show everybody how I pack them instead of using the snap-on bearing packer. I mean, it does come up through the bottom of the bearings. Here, open that for me, babe. Get the wife to help me out here for a minute. Let's rip it open. It's Christmas. Rip it open.
Not my Christmas.
How long have I had this stuff? We gotta take the race off. We don't need the race. So they sit in there like that. You see how the top of the bearing, it's got a narrow spot here, and on the back it's thicker. So it actually goes in like that, the thick part up. Do a little demonstration here, I guess. Drop in here, hold that. Drop in like that. Stick it in there. And you just rock it back and forth. I ain't gonna go too far because I want to show you what it's doing. You see, you got a close-up shot? You see how the grease is coming out, and you can see how they're each and separate. I mean, this bearing packer works good, but I'm old-fashioned. I like to do it in my hand, palm of my hand, and that way it gets out through, because look at on the top. It did come out the top here, too. I mean, a lot of people would probably let that go and be okay with it. Since I've been packing bearings out of the palm of my hand for 30 years, so why get spoiled and use a snap-on bearing packer on my own stuff? I mean, on trailers I use it all the time, but on my own stuff, I'm gonna do it by hand. That way I know it's good. And this side here, let's show them over here. Like I said, I found some rusty goo in here, but she spins like butter. Which everybody knows, when you do your nut and your spade or your you got your washer and your nut. You just take your nut and you seat it and you back it up. And then your cotter pin goes through. You don't want to over tighten them because you'll burn the bearings up. That's beautiful. I've had this stuff on the shelf for over a year. About time to start using it. But anyway, guys, I'm going to put you back on time lapse. I'm going to finish getting the bearings packed and get them installed onto the spindles. I guess I can dig the drag radials out, get them up here. I got all the lug nuts ready to go for them. Tyler's got my good lug nuts, my closed end, but I can't use them on these studs anyway. I got to have an open end, and that's what I have there. So. Got this side all wrapped up, good to go. Spins like butter like the other side. Like I said, I don't know when my calipers are going to be in, so I'm probably going to cut this video here. You guys already know what it's like to put calipers on. It ain't nothing. I got my hardware cleaned up, like I said earlier. My brake pins. So when the rotors do come in, I'll be all set there. I had to dig out a new cotter pin. This side had a nail in it for a cotter pin, which I forgot about. Hey, when you break a cotter pin, that's the next best thing, right? Heck yeah, it works. But like I said before, we're going to do a separate video after I get the car all lowered down. I'll get the calipers on it and bled, get the drag front runners back on it. Car lowered, that way I can work on the carburetor and everything under the hood that I want to do comfortably without leaning over the car and trying to scratch the the paint. And I also I'm going to take the valve covers off and run through my valve lash. It's got a solid roller in here, so I'm going to run through my valve lash and double check everything. This has got stud girdles on it. They usually don't loosen up, but it's good to go through and give them everything a good once over. So, just to be safe. And like I said before, we're going to be taking this to Ubley here within the next couple weeks and blow the carbon out of her. And we're going to get the boys' car there. Hopefully Cody from Port Huron brings up the SS Camaro. And we get a good family day of racing in. We got to have one good family video. But like I said, we're going to be doing a separate video on putting this Venom VX Series Pro Systems carb on there. Hopefully that runs, good on there, which I don't see why it wouldn't. It's a brand new carburetor, so I've heard a lot of good things about that. So I'm going to be dropping CFM, and if it don't, we always got that brand new Ultra XP 850 switched over from 950 to an 850. So yeah, guys, all we are now, like I said, we're just waiting on our calipers to show up. I'll get these old rotors stashed in the back room, and the old brake pads. I mean, everything's still good. Like I said, we're having an issue of it pulling to the driver's side, and I think this caliper over here is starting to show its ass and starting to have an issue. So yeah, we'll get it all straightened out and we'll be done, good to go. So once again, guys, I really appreciate everybody for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys on the next video. All right, bye bye.